Alright, we said we would jump on and do a quick analysis, review of some of the layering system.
But now he's having trouble, and we moved him to a place with some raising curve.
Yeah.
What's up? We're shooting a video here.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Podcasting for two.
Should we talk about gear stuff then?
Well, after,
Or my
I mean,
Agent
people,
Grandparents?
this will store on Facebook, right? So people will be able to look at it.
As far as I know, I think so.
Alright, so this is the Prima Light hoodie. I've been using this pretty much every day since I've gotten it. And what it is essentially replaces a hooded sweatshirt. And it almost feels like a sleeping bag material. And it's a little bit louder, but it's made to be an under, well, you can use it in any way that you want. But as you hear, it's a little bit of a louder material, and but it weighs nothing and is extremely warm. And so I've been wearing this merino base layer from Smartwool, 250 weight, right?
Yep.
And any base layer probably works. I just like merino because a lot of times we don't have the ability to wash our clothes for a couple days, so that saves us a lot. And so I start with this, and then these are the full rut bibs, and they have Primaloft insulation. They're a micro fleece. One thing I did notice is the insulation does not carry all the way down to the, there is a little bit of insulation in here, but not like there is through the rest of it. And I think that's to thin them up a little bit at the bottom so that they fit into your knee boots comfortably. I don't do that. I always wear mine over my boots, but I did notice on some real extreme cold days that I could definitely feel a difference, because these are Lacrosse Alpha Burleys. They're 1600s. They're very heavily insulated at the bottom, but the neck of the boot, the throat of the boot, is not. And so I did notice that like my shins and my lower legs got a little bit chilly on long day sits, but they fit like an athletic fit.
It's nice the zippers are so high to
Right.
sneak into them.
Yeah, you can sneak
The
right
side
into
zippers.
them with your boots.
Sneak right out of them.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got to.
Sneak right out of them if you have to. Couple cups of coffee in the morning, and you get out to your stand and you realize you're in trouble. You can get them off pretty quickly.
I like all those orange deals on all the zippers. You can find them pretty quick.
Yeah, if you like don't see real well.
Yeah. Or in the dark or something, you know?
They're good with gloves too.
Yeah. Yeah, there's pockets all over.
I
the
used to
place.
run poly base layers. I don't much care for them. I had the Under Armour ones, and they didn't do a whole lot for me. Plythal does have a selection of base layers. I just honestly haven't worn any of them yet, so I can't speak truthfully on them. I'll probably try some out this year. It's always good when your gear has blood on it. It means you're doing your job right.
That's why mine looks showroom this year.
But
I
you
did
kinda-
mess up somebody's car real good though.
Kind of get that all situated, and then this right here combined with this is the full rut jacket. It's a micro fleece. It's got this little hole here in the
harness
back
and stuff.
for your your safety harness to come right out of, so it's not messing around with your neck and bothering you. And then this layers perfectly.
With the Plythal gear too, you buy your outer shell one size larger than your other
It just
layer.
depends. Everybody's body's a little bit different. This is a This is a medium Prima-Lite hoodie, and this is a large full rut jacket. But I could put a medium over it, but the large gives it some airspace and doesn't compress it as much, and it's noticeably warmer. That's a big part when you're layering your system.
Yeah.
Is that you're not
Some
compressed.
air cushion.
It's so important.
And I guess it depends on how you plan on layering them and all that.
And so that's set up, and as you can hear, this
Oh, yeah.
basically doesn't make any noise. I can draw my bow. It's the quietest gear that I've ever had. And then I like this hoodie, the light hoodie, because it's a real small, tight hood. It doesn't interfere with your peripheral vision whatsoever. And then this hood covers that up perfectly.
Bet you that thinner hood, you can hear better through it too.
You can, but it's a little bit noisy on your ears when you're moving back and
Oh.
forth. But then you can see here, there's a drawstring, and this pulls the corners back, so none of my peripheral vision is obstructed. And I've worn this exact setup with just my base layers for 3 or 4 hours down to 20 degrees and been really comfortable. These are the 2.0 gloves. Here, why don't you come over here a little bit closer?
Do they call that full rut 2.0, or do they have a 2.0 jacket?
I think it's,
I've seen a 2.0.
I'm not sure. There's different terminologies for the stuff on their website.
Saw waterproof zippers on there? Or water resistant, or just like a tight?
You know, I've sat in some pretty heavy driving rain, and I'm yet to get wet. This shell is not waterproof; it is water resistant. It'll take water, and it'll hold it. It'll get heavy, but I've never had it actually soak through to my next layer. And I mean, opening day rifle, it poured, and I sat out for 4 hours, and I was still dry. If I had sat out all day, it probably would have been a problem. But these gloves are the 2.0 gloves. They are not waterproof in the least. They are sponges. They're very nice to have as a
liner.
Yeah, or dry weather.
Right.
Or commuting in and out of the woods when it's real cold. These aren't going to keep your hands super warm, but for what they cost, they're nice to have. But if you were going to be out doing something where it's going to be wet all day, these are going to be wet instantly. The first thing that you touch that's wet. Like if you get to your tree stand and you go to climb up your ladder, by the time you get up there, your hands are going to suck all that water right in.
So you want to pack those out and just put them on when you get set in your stand, maybe?
Yeah, or have another pair of gloves that are waterproof.
Right.
I'm yet to find a pair of gloves that I absolutely love. So these are the 3.0 gloves. It's just a mitten. Depending on how cold it is, I'll just wear these, or I'll wear these underneath of the mitten.
Is that like a texting finger on there? Like
Yeah,
you
you
work
can
with
touch
your smartphone?
You can touch your phone. You can go on YouTube, the Chive, whatever you do when you're in the tree stand at burn time. I don't have the Chive app on my phone. As a favor to my wife, I got rid of it.
So he deletes it when he's coming
Me
home.
too.
It's not true.
Me too.
Selects the private option on a new page.
It's not true.
Nothing wrong with that.
Incognito browser.
At least I do.
So these are the 3.0 mittens. They're not waterproof, but they're water resistant. I've sat in some pretty wet, cold temperatures and been really, I've sat in 12 below with this setup and been comfortable. But if they get wet, obviously that's a different scenario. But one thing I really love about them is when I'm sitting here on my lap, have my hands down or whatever I'm doing, if I see a deer, I literally don't have to touch my gloves. I can just flip them up. They have magnets in there.
Nice.
And my hands are ready to pull the trigger.
The ones I have
draw
are
my
Velcro,
bow,
and it
whatever
makes
I need
quite a
to
bit
do.
of noise.
So, yep, just
That's
a little
nice.
magnet in there, and they don't make any noise when they touch each other. And I just, it's pretty sweet to have the old quick draw, just.
Yeah, that's been nice. I've done that a few times, sit up in the stand.
Just for fun.
Just for fun. Just not like I need to put my finger through the trigger guard or anything.
I'm literally sweating to death right now. It's a problem.
These fits annoy my chicken.
Well, I gotta leave this on for one more second because there's one more piece that fits over this actually for extreme cold temperatures. Or if you're gonna be out all day and you need to just get a warm up. Real quick, this is the 2.0 neck gaiter. It's not much, it's just a polyester neck gaiter. It has a little micro fleece inside of it. It's not good for real cold weather. I don't know, my face gets cold, I like to have a thicker one. 3.0 Primaloft hat, critical. This thing is like an incinerator. I think it's around $20 or $30. I don't know the exact cost, but this thing is a critical part to me staying warm in this system. I have other hats. This one is the warmest one that I've ever worn.
It looks like there's two different materials on the outer layer of that. What's the deal with that? Like right back here, and see that?
Yeah, there's a couple. It's all polyester, I believe, but this is the micro fleece, and this is not.
I'm wondering why they went with a different material in the back.
Maybe.
But then the last thing,
Put your head against tree bark, it doesn't get the Velcro sound effect.
the last thing I wanted to cover is the down puffy, and I've only worn this one time for 10 or 15 minutes, and I was too hot with this whole thing on. I haven't had a sit or temperatures where I've needed this yet, but I know you wore it
Yeah.
in some high winds and a real cold situation for opening day of firearm, right?
Yep, and then back here, about 15 degrees, 15, 20 mile an hour gusts, and I was pretty cold and pulled that out of the bag and threw that on, and it's instantly just like putting on a sleeping bag with sleeves.
There's a spooky ghost between you and Ryan. Right?
Yeah, there's zero wind would get through that, and it was pretty cozy when I had that on.
So this jacket, you can hear, this is a little louder. So it's not probably something you'd want to wear all the time if you were bow hunting, but it's their warmest piece, and you're better off being out there than freezing to death and having to go in. So I'd rather have this in my pack and be able to stay out there all day than get cold and have to come in. Because the long and the short of it is, no matter how good your system is, if you're sitting stationary and it's real cold for hours on end, you're gonna get cold. You're gonna have to move around, or you're gonna have to, I guess, put a big puffy on, go up and down your tree stand, whatever you have to do. But this is really nice because this packs.
Does that come with that coat?
This comes with the coat.
Oh,
Coat
nice.
comes in it.
Now, is that a down mix, or was that just a
This
Primaloft?
jacket is a blend of Primaloft insulation and down. I believe it's 75% down, 25% Primaloft.
It's warm.
Why do they do the mix, do you think?
Cost.
The
Cost, effectivability?
Primaloft's
Cost.
better for getting wet too.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I wouldn't think that they would do it that much of a cost thing, it being that low of a mix. There's got to be some sort of benefit they're getting from it.
Yeah, maybe it keeps the feathers spaced out more or something.
Tell us, Plythal, you want to know?
But that packs right down. That goes in my bag. It's in there for emergencies, or pillow if I want to take a nap.
Nice.
Or if you're backcountry hunting, I mean that's your pillow for the weekend,
Yeah.
right
You
there.
could probably get a compression sack and cut that even halfway the size of that.
When we went camping this spring, I took my merino and I stuffed my jacket inside my merino and used that as a pillow, and it was awesome.
So full rut jacket, fleece, water resistant, awesome shell. Prima Light hoodie is just one of the best articles of clothing I've ever had, period.
Yeah.
Really, it's just so versatile. I throw it on in the morning when I take my kid to school, when it's real cold out. One thing, it doesn't breathe real well, so if you're commuting in and out of the woods, you're not going to want to have this on. You're going to want to have this rolled up and it's packed. Just like that down jacket rolls up and packs in, This thing you can roll right up and pack it right into your hood. Pull the hood tight right around it and throw that right in your pack as well.
You're gonna cut weight like a wrestler with that thing.
I love those light puffies. They're so nice.
These are the full rut pants. I bought these last year. I just got these bibs this season. These are insulated as well. They are very warm. They have gaiter. That's really nice. So you put the pant into your boot and then pull these gaiters. I call them gaiters. I don't know what Plythal calls them, but they're really nice. You pull this over your boot, and then that keeps snow and brush and everything else from ending up inside your boots and keeps your feet dry. These also have some blood on them. They need to be washed before I put them away for the end of the year. They have a lot of pockets on them. Reinforced butt cheeks.
Ooh. Hey, you're gonna need that. Those are nice. I like the gaiters on them.
And then this is just the 2.0 sweatshirt, and it has a little micro fleece lining, polyester. And early season, a lot of times I just wear this. Sometimes if it's a little bit colder out, maybe 40 degrees or whatever, I'll wear this with the full rut jacket. I always have my base layer on typically, unless it's real early season. That's it. Anybody that has any other questions, just leave them below in the comments. We'll be sure to get them answered. We're going to sit down and record a podcast right now. One of the reasons that we did this, I posted today, Plythal from now till January 1st is running 40% off anything on their website. So I was getting a lot of messages and questions today. This felt like it was the best way to cover it. If you have any other questions, write them in the comments below.
Greg wants to know what boots you have on.
Greg, these are the...
Was he late getting to the pod?
Yeah, Greg just showed up and decided he was going to run the show, so
What the heck, Chris?
slow things down for Greg here.
Next time, be on time.
1,600 gram Alpha Burleys. I just bought these. I bought them on Overstock.com. That was the cheapest place I could find them. It was $40 cheaper than a lot of what the retailers that I found them was. And I think part of the reason is it's like their last year's pattern. But I burn through a pair of Alpha Burleys every couple of years, and these have kept my feet warm. I'm a pretty big fan of them, so my feet are soaked sweating right now.
I had the Alpha Burleys and I went with muck boots, and not the mucks are bad, but I'd go back to Alpha Burleys. I think they're more durable than the muck boots are. The all rubber boots, at least.
I'm literally amazed that these make it through 1 week of some of the shit that we do when we go up north. It's crazy that they last a couple years. These things are insanely tough.
Cody asked what pants you're wearing in October. I assume the full rut.
Yeah, Cody, these full rut pants in October. Depending on how warm it is, I'll wear just these. If it's going to be in the 40s, I'll wear my base layer and these. But these pants will keep you warm down to upper 30s. Really?
Yeah.
If you're going to start getting into the low 30s and the 20s, you're going to want the bibs. The bibs have Primaloft insulation in them too, quite a bit.
Plythal does make some early season pants too that are better for like those 80-degree days.
Yeah, they make early season pants. I don't have any experience with any of that stuff. Everything that I've bought is pretty much for cold weather because that's when I do my deer hunting. I'm more of a late season deer hunter than an early season deer hunter. So
Those are nice because they came with a belt. Just one less thing you gotta.
Pants on there?
Yeah. So I like that little feature that came with it. And what they did with their pockets was real nice too. A lot of options and spots for little accessory pockets.
The other thing too, they've got like a rubber band inside the belt line.
Yeah, helps
so it
keep
keeps
my
them from
base
slipping
layers.
down and stuff. That's nice.
Help keep my base layers tucked in a lot.
typically what I've done this season when we're going a long distance, I will wear the pants with the gaiters pulled over my boots to keep all the shit out of my boots, and I'll wear the hooded sweatshirt with either a stand on my back or my backpack. And then I have the bibs and the puffy and all my other clothes in my backpack. When I get to where I'm going and my stand's hung and I'm ready to hunt, then I'll shed all that stuff off. I'll give myself a minute or two to cool down and let my undergarments breathe, and then I'll put my heavy stuff on. Then I'm ready to hunt.
You were saying this material is a little bit more waterproof, water resistant than this other stuff?
I've never got wet legs wearing that stuff. It's not waterproof. If you're going to sit out in driving rain, you're eventually going to get wet. But I've gone through some nasty swamp and snow-covered stuff and never.
The nice thing about this gaiter too, you got that fold over your boot. I've done it before. If you step in a hole crossing a creek or something like that, where it's deep,
100%.
it will help you 1 or 2 steps or something like that keep water from spilling into your boots and ruining your hunt.
100%.
So that's nice.
If you put your leg through and you pull it out quick enough, you will not get a boot. You won't get a aquarium.
Because it's going to suck towards your leg anyways when that water starts to put pressure all the way around your leg. Even gaiters will help with that, or waterproof pants, but that's nice on those.
Yeah, Nick, the gaiters don't work for Nick. He's so tall that your boots pop out of him?
Yeah, I'm just under 6'4". I wear, rubber knee boots, and they stay over the top a little bit, but as soon as you sit down once, they pop right over. So one thing would be nice if they were to come down a little bit further or full length to go back down.
It wouldn't hurt anybody that was shorter than you if they made them a little longer, maybe.
Yeah.
He's a mountain of a man.
He is
what he's getting at.
You're a tall glass of water, mister.
I mean, they go down. They go down pretty far.
Yeah, I'll start walking. I'll sit down once. I'll get up. I'll look, and they're popped up and over and tucked inside.
I'm 5'8", 175 pounds. I fall between a medium and a large in any of these sizes. But if you're hesitant on what size to order, I say order. If you're not sure if you're a large or an XL, order both of them and then send back whatever fits. I believe they give you a return label when you buy the stuff, so you just send the stuff back that doesn't fit.
Box in the same box.
Their stuff's 100% satisfaction guarantee, and it's lifetime warranty
For the original purchaser.
for the original owner through Plythal. So if you have problems with the gear above and beyond normal wear and tear, if you wear the ass out of them in 10 years, they're not gonna replace them. But if stitching comes apart, or zippers fail, or buttons fall off, you can send it back to Plythal and they'll warranty repair the stuff. I can't talk about how that exactly works because I haven't had any manufacturer defects with any of the stuff I've been using yet. It's only been a couple of years. So.
For any tall studs, if they have questions, I called Plythal and had a really nice in-depth conversation about their size, and they're more than happy to help me because I have a lot of sizing issues. I got grill arms and legs, but just under 6'4", about 175, got 36-inch sleeve, 34 waist.
And hot dog fingers.
They're almost more potato hybrids.
34-inch legs, and I gave them all the measurements, and they walked me through, and I got the large and everything, and it fits great. It actually has a lot of sleeve room. Problem, the sleeves coming up, exposing my wrist, but I didn't have any issues with the large with those measurements.
Anybody else with any other questions on there?
No, I think we're all set.
All right, like I said, if you guys, anybody catches this after it's posted and you have any questions, feel free to message us and we'll answer anything that you have. And then also, Tim at Plythal is a real friendly guy and he'll answer any questions you have too. So that promotion will be running, that 40% discount will be running till January 1st. So that's pretty hard prices to beat for a whole system or single piece, whatever you're looking for. All right, let's shut this off and we're going to get the last podcast in for the year. So thanks everybody for joining and thanks for all the support in our first year. It's been great. We're really looking forward to what 2018 is going to have in store.
See you.